Hey everyone. Hopefully you're good. Everything is good. I'm sorry about my voice, but it is an influenza. But yeah. Okay, documenting history and interview. So first of all, introduce him or herself to the patient. So, for example, my name is Sarah, and that I wanted to just take the history and then explain the procedures of the patient. We're going to take a session today about such or something, and then apply the following step. To break it down, we have multi steps. The first one, set the stage for the interview, right? So preparing up the interview, and then chief concern and the agenda that you want to discuss with the patient. And the third step began the interview with Nana, focusing skills that help the patient to express her or himself. Then start focusing skills to learn more about the symptoms and that impact on the patient, personal experience and emotions. And then ask about the emotions of the patient, respond with words that empathically address the emotion, and transition to second centered phase of the interview. So basically, here is the setting of the interview. So welcome the patient, say, hey, how are you? Like, just greet him, right? Use the patient's name, Sophie, for instance. So just, hey, how are you, Sophie? What is up? And just such. Introduce him or herself and identify a specific role. I'm Sarah, I'm an internist, right? So, welcome patient, use the patient name, introduce yourself, ensure patient readiness and privacy, make sure that the door has been locked, remove the barriers to communication, can we talk freely, ensure comfort, and put the patient at ease. Okay, so this is how do we set the interview. Welcome the patient, use the patient name, introduce him or herself, yourself for by saying your name, what is your position, ensure patient readiness and privacy, remove the barrier to communication, ensure the comfort, and put the patient at ease. Okay, then elicit chief concern and set agenda, identifying and setting the goals. Indicate time available. We've got 20 minutes together today, so select the time. Indicate own needs, and I see that we need to review the blood tests you had done yesterday. Obtain a list of all issues patient wants to discuss, specific symptoms, requests, expectations, understanding. But before we do that, let's get a list of the things you want to discuss today, and then summarize and finalize the agenda. Negotiate specifics if too many agenda items. Okay, so first they list chief concern by just indicate the time available, indicate our needs, obtain all the issues that we wanted to discuss, and summarize and finalize. This is the next thing, which is identifying and setting the goals. The third thing, began the interview with Nana focus and skills that helps the patient to express her or himself. Open-ended questions, for example. Start with open-ended request questions. Tell me about your headache. Use Nana focus and open-ended skills. Attentive listening, silence, neutral, eugenesis, nonverbal encouragement, obtain additional data from nonverbal sources, nonverbal cues, physical characteristics, accoutrements, environment. Okay, So non-focusing skills, which means open-ended questions. So such, tell me about your headache. Try to just use some of the focusing, non-focusing skills such as attentive listening, silence neutral. Okay, it's fine, guys. To there's gaps between the conversation, which is silence, just minutes of silence, right? Obtain additional data from the nonverbal sources, from the nodding, smiling, and these such things. Okay, this is the third thing, which is the non-focusing skills. Okay, right now we're gonna move to the focusing skills to learn more about the symptoms and their impact on the patient's personal experience and emotions. Elicit physical symptom story. Obtain a description of symptoms using focusing open-ended skills such as echoes. Repeat the patient words, excruciating pain, and then summarize. First, you had a fever. Then 2 days later, your knee began to hurt, and yesterday you began to limp. With your requests, say more about that. Okay, so echoes, summarizing, and requests. Elicit personal story, broader personal psychosocial context of symptoms, patient belief, attribution. Again, use focus in open-ended questions or skills. How has this affected you? What did you think might be going on? Elicit emotional story. Ask emotion-seeking questions. Direct and indirect. Direct means burden on himself, the patient itself. Indirect means the burden of the family, the other members that surrounds the patient for sure. Okay, direct. How are you doing with this? How does this make you feel? And indirect. What has this knee pain been like for your family, or what do you think is causing it? Respond with words that empathically address the emotion. So, nurse, to remember. Name, understand, respect, and support. So, name. You begin to say, Paul, by this knee pain makes you angry. And then understand, I can understand you're feeling this way. And request, this has been a difficult time for you. You show a lot of courage. This is sort of respect, okay? Support, I want to help you to get better. Expand the story, repeat cycle for each major concern or problem. So basically, to recap, what in the step 4, by using the focus skills, such echoes, summarizing requests, emotion seeking questions, whether direct or indirect, respond with just respond with words that empathically address the emotion. Okay. Step 5. Transition to second, doctor-centered phase of the interview summary. Check the accuracy, indicate that both content and style of inquiry will change if the patient is ready. Going to switch gears now and ask you some questions to better understand what might be going on. Continues with the doctor-centered part, the interview. So basically, summary, check the accuracy of the conversation that had been gone. Indicates that both of the content inquiry will change if the patient is ready. I'm going to switch gears now and I ask some questions to better understand what might be going on. Okay, so continues with the doctor-centered part of the interview. Okay, so this is the transition to second phase of the interview. Doctor-centered questions like summary, check for the accuracy, and indicate that both content and style of an inquiry will change if the patient is ready. Continue with the doctor center part of the interview. Okay, so that's all. Here's the transition to the second, and this is the focus and skills, and not all focus and skills. The agenda or selecting the goals, the interview. Okay, I'm going to repeat this again for the last time, so just pay attention, please. So introduce him or herself to the patient. My name is Sarah, okay, and then explain the procedure. I need to take your history about something that is going on, and then by the following steps. Set the stage for the interview. Welcome the patient. Hey, who are you? Sophie. Then introduce him or herself and identify specific role. I'm an internist, and I want to help you to become your situation's better. Ensure the patient readiness and privacy. Remove the barrier to communication. Ensure comfort and put the patient at ease. These all in the interview, setting the interview. Then elicit chief concern and set agenda. We've got about 20 minutes together. Indicate own need, and I see that we need to review the blood test you had done yesterday. All the need. What do you think? Before doing that, let's get a list of the things you want to discuss today. Then summarize and finalize. Our goals for today is to discuss the blood test that you had yesterday. So this is what we are going to do this day. Begin the interview with focus and skills that help the patient express himself. So the open-ended quick questions. Tell me about your headache, your symptoms, your knee, your elbow, your head, your stomach, etc. All of these open-ended questions. Use focus and open-ended skills. Attentive listening, silence, needle uteruses, non-verbal encouragement. Obtain additional data from non-verbal sources. Then use the focus and skills such as echoes, repeat the patient words, excruciating pain. Is it so hard on you? Does it really make just echo, repeat what the patient said. Summarize. First you had a fever, then 2 days later you have your knee pain began. Then request say more about that. Say more about your knee pain, your neck pain, and that. Just okay. Then elicit personal story, broader personal. Okay, how has this affected you? Direct or indirect, and show. Just use this word for all of these names. You say being disabled by this knee pain makes you angry. Just name the thing that the patient is facing, right? I can understand you're feeling this way. Respect this has been a difficult time for you. You show a lot of courage. You show a lot of brave. I'm so proud of you. So such these things. Support. I wanted to help you get better. You will be better. You will be healthier. And I just transition to the second part. And the step of the 5, which is summary. Check the accuracy. All of these sort of things. So, this is the stage of the interview. The first thing, let me just write it down here. Okay, that's a cool thing. So the first thing, set the stage of the interview. So set up the interview. Okay, what else? Elicit chief concern and okay. This is the first thing. And then the main complaint. Okay, the basin for sure. The main complaint. What else? The third thing that is like not a focusing skills. Non-focusing skills. And then the last thing is going to be the focusing skills. Alright. It's not the last thing. I mean, here's the last thing, which is going to be the phase of Doctor Center. Because there's a second phase of the interview. So, the Doctor Centered. Okay, so I set up the interview, the main complaint, Nana focus skills, then focus skills and Doctor Centered. This is about the history or the history, document in history and interview. Okay. Document in history. Documenting history and interview. Okay. What the heck? Let me try to put it here. Interview. Okay. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Document in history and interview. That's so cool. Okay, thank you for the listening. I hope you did benefit from this thing, and thank you for listening.